Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another book review. I just read The Golden Enclaves, which is by Naomi Novik. And this one is lesson 3 of the Scholomance, or the Sholomance. And the Sholomance is a very intriguing character, and she has blueprints in the actual leaflet in the beginning that show the expanse of what an enclave actually encompasses. And I thought, holy moly, that is absolutely massive and just so expansive. I mean, the word expanse doesn't really illustrate an enclave in and of itself. And it talks about the Sholomance and the significance of the Sholomance, and it's really quite well written. I think it's one of the best novels I've read in a good long while, and it's just absolutely incredibly well written. And I had never heard of Naomi Novik, so you really don't have to have read the other 2 lessons in the Sholomance, but personally, after reading this one, I think it would have given me a lot more context. But I understood what was going on and how it was a battle of light between dark, and like most fantasies are. But this one was more of a little bit different, actually. I'm not going to explain why it's different, but it's just unique on its own level. And level, yeah, that word is actually very appropriate. But if you've never heard of Naomi, I would highly recommend her work. She is just absolutely phenomenal. The way she writes, she immediately pulls you in and entrances you and just keeps you in suspense and wondering what the heck's going to happen next to her character Elle. And it's interesting that the character is named Elle. And I'm not going to say why. If you know any Hebrew, then that probably makes a whole lot of sense when I was thinking about it, because I only know just a smattering of Hebrew. And I really need to learn more, because just their name, I just thought, yeah, that's logical. that makes a whole other realm of sense that I never really pondered before. But I didn't really have a chance to do this review just because I was enjoying time with my aunt. We were making up for lost time, and yesterday I learned my Zia Hunia, or my Aunt June. Unfortunately, she died, and I was gonna write to her again to see how things were, but I never had the chance to really get around to doing it. Now I feel really bad about it, but I know that she missed Jack, or my Zio Giovanni, because he died not long ago, a few years back. It seemed like a long time that she had to wait, and apparently she had a stroke and she had complications, and she died in her sleep, which is, I think, how I want to go as well. That's how my dad went, and I think that's the most peaceful way to die. No hassle, and definitely a more poetic way to go, I think. And I was just thinking, well, now you're with Giovanni, you're with your loved one, and you can just enjoy him and dance with him all you want, because he was just Giovanni. Oh my God, I miss him just like I miss her. They were wonderful, wonderful people. She wasn't Italian, but Jack was most definitely Italian, and he was from Genoa. And he just was a marvel of a man, and I miss him dearly. But it's interesting that my aunt mentioned that, because not long ago when I was in Circle, I actually saw my Zio, and I was just taken aback, because I wasn't expecting him to pop up at Circle, or me to even see him, because usually I don't see relatives, and except in the realm of dreams when I'm in my subconscious mind. I mean, I see people who have gone before me all the time, so that's not uncommon. But I mean, in broad daylight, for me to see one of my relatives just, wave at me, and it was just crazy. I will never forget that. That was the most unbelievable thing. I mean, I've had other things, but that was the most recent. But he looked like everybody else I've known that has shuffled off the mortal coil, and he was just as sharp as ever, and just like I always thought he would be. And not only that, but he had black hair like back in the day, and I'm like, dang, you look good. But now he's with Hunia, so I'm happy he's with Zia now, and I'm gonna miss them. It's just I thought, really? I mean, that almost soured my holiday, but it just, I'm not that sad over it. There are other things that made the holiday a little bit sad. When I heard that Frank Conroy passed, and then I heard Jason David Frank passed, and I just thought, well, yeah, that sucks. But granted, you just have to give yourself time to heal and grieve. And as somebody who's a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan and a Batman fan, it packs me a lot deeper than I thought it would. But I realized that I've been blessed, and I had someone like Zia in my life, and she was a very good woman, so I have no doubt in my mind that she's just living it up in heaven right now. But yeah, I'm sure she's talking to my mom or my dad, and they're catching up, because I didn't really have a chance to meet again. They long since superseded her in their passing. But that's pretty much all I have to say, and I'm hopeful that I'm able to get things rearranged in the studio. But that's all I have to say about the Golden Enclaves. If you have a chance to pick it up at your local library, do. It's woefully short, or at least for me it was woefully short, because I read 500, 600, 900 page novels like all the time, so this is nothing new to me. But I'm working on some other things, and I just recently started transcribing a bunch of my stories, and I'm getting ready to transcribe my script, All Hail Caesarina. So that one's going to go up on Kindle, and now the other stories, the cryptid stories, it's all going to be one volume when it's done. The field guide's going to be separate, but it's going to be part of the same universe. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It's just kind of like an add-on, a little something extra for the fans. And it'll something fun, and I've always wanted to do a field guide, so kind of like Pokemon has its own guide, and I thought, this is perfect. And of course, CryptoZoo, they have their own, and that's basically a dark version of Pokemon, but they don't have a field guide, so that's one thing they lack. I will be different in that respect. But theirs is a card game, and mine is a story and different characters, and you've got different business. You've got you start off with the Crypto Crusaders, and then I begin with the origin of the Crypto Crusaders. Our Semper Surrelatus are always closed. That's Latin for always obscured, and that was what it was before it became the Crypto Crusaders. And then you've got the Nautical Navigators, who are basically Crypto Crusaders, but they work with aquatic cryptids. And then you've got the Shadow Walkers, who are a bereavement group for survivors who have lost people due to cryptid attacks or have had people slain. So they are a grief and healing chapter. And they also help. They also provide information to the Cryptid Crusaders. And then you have the European Research Center, which is overseas. And then you have the SCP, which we all know about. Then I actually added Dr. Bright into that, even though Dr. Bright's not my creation. I just thought I would throw him in there because he's an interesting character, and I would put him as part of that whole universe. And then I have a lady who works for the SCP but joins the Crusaders because she didn't like working for the SCP. And that is about all I have. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.